Good afternoon. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, my name is Maurice Jr. And what we do here at Aspire to Cultivate, we make content that strive to change the lives of individuals, families, and communities. Most importantly, we help people stay connected to our dreams and goals. Today, we have a special one here. The most important piece about our special one, if you remember in a previous interview with Terrence Chapman, he actually mentioned my Uncle Jenkins here as it relates to why he joined a specific fraternity. So we'll cover that today. You know, what made him venture down that path and different things of that nature. But I want to give you the floor. Tell everyone about, you know, who you are, introduce yourself and what you got going on right now. Then we'll go from there.
My name is Jerron Jenkins, and I'm the health teacher at East High School. I teach from 10th to 12th grade health and science.
Whoa. I didn't know you was at East. I forgot that came back open there.
Yeah, I'm back at East. I've been at, ever since I got back, they called me back. I've been back at East.
Okay, they called you back. I know why they called you back, because you do amazing things in the community. You do amazing things in the classroom, and not only that, just your personality and you know, the things that you do and display for young Black men, especially black and brown children in Youngstown. So I'll start off by asking, you know, what made you come out of retirement? What prompted that? You know, they gave you a call and said, hey man, we want you back. You know, why didn't you say, I'm gonna stay retired, I'm gonna cool on this? You know, what made you come back?
Well, I started teaching at the age of 20, stayed for 35 years, and you know, there ain't nothing really to do. So you know, I thought I was put on earth for a purpose to help young men out to be successful and let them understand that you can do anything that you want to do. All right. Don't let nobody take your dreams away from you. But you gotta have more than one goal.
Absolutely. Great call out there. I kind of want to touch on that. You saying dreams, goals, you know, purpose, you know, that was a lot there. So let's unpack that a little bit. As you found out your purpose, you said, hey, Maurice, at 20 years old, I figured out that I wanted to, you know, teach. Is this something that was cultivated in your upbringing? Like, furthermore, as you wanted to be a teacher, or was it just something where you like, you know what, let me turn to teaching. I think this is my avenue. Or, you know, did you fall into it in college? You know, tell me a little bit about how you actually went the direction of teaching. Because I don't think, was that a popular field back then today?
Yeah, it was a popular field, but that was not really my field. When I first went, I wasn't gonna go to college. My aunt, my mother's sister had 10 children, and all of them, the baby boy graduated with me, and all 10 of them graduated from college, and they from the South. And I went down there to visit after I graduated, and she talked me into going to Alabama and them because I had I wasn't even thinking about going to college. And so she talked to me about going to college, because she said that if you don't have a college degree, uh, it's kind of hard out here, you know.
Absolutely.
So she, you know, by seeing my cousins and them being expired and doing what they're supposed to, and they inspired me to want to do the same thing that they was doing.
Absolutely. Great call out there. So you wasn't even like thinking about college. You like, you know what? I'm okay. I don't really want to do this whole college thing, different things of that nature. But you end up going, and you said you went to Alabama A&M. You know, tell me a little bit about your college experience. How was that? What was
Well,
your experience like?
when I first went to Alabama, and I didn't like it because I was too far away from home.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be with your friends, but then after you start meeting people that want to be successful, it changes it changes your mind, it changes your concept, it changes your values and your beliefs, and make you want to be something just like they are.
Absolutely. Great call out. That's something that that I preach a lot here as it relates to people's values, their norms, and their beliefs. It all evolves around experiences or exposure, and how you actually brought up there as well. So you went to Alabama A&M, and you began to knowing you and knowing your personality. I'm pretty sure you attracted different individuals, and just being involved on campus, different things of that nature. How did the joining of a fraternity impact your mind, or like you said, it changes your mindset of how you want to be successful, different things of that nature? What gravitated you towards the different fraternities, and why did you choose that path?
Well, basically, my family, my whole family is in fraternities. The females are AKAs, and the males are Kappas. So you have to go to the traditional, follow along with the family traditional. But what I saw, I didn't really know what fraternities was, because back up at North, they're not really involved into it. And when I got to see the different fraternities with good leadership and moral models, and, and different activities they wanted to do and be successful in life, and try to help other communities and get in other young men's lives and different things, that made me want to do the same thing when I came back home.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that last piece there that you touched on, you said coming back home. What brought you back to Youngstown? Like, what made you say my work is not done here in Youngstown? What brought you back?
Well, at first I had jobs offered in Florida, Tennessee, Atlanta, but I just thought that my calling was to come home and let my black males know that it can be done. It can
Absolutely,
be done.
absolutely, absolutely. And what individuals don't know is that when I was in high school, when I was matriculating through I'll say university. When I was matriculating through Rand High School, um, my uncle was my gym teacher, and he would always have my mom on speed dial anytime I would do something as it relates to something else out of my character. No matter if I was using profanity, no matter if I was disrespecting him in some form, some way, some manner, who actually had my mom on speed dial. And back then, if y'all ain't know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was in high school. I still was getting disciplined, and you know what I mean by discipline. I still was getting whoopings, man. Cause I wasn't 6'4" yet. I was more so like around 5'3". I still was little, man, about 5'3", 5'4", about 120 pounds. But the reason why I mention that is because he always stood on certain principles as it relates to his classroom when it comes to respecting others, not only respecting others, but actually trying and challenging yourself and pushing yourself to new heights. That way you can have those growth opportunities and different things of that nature. And it was modeled in his behavior. And like I said in another interview, Terrence Chapman actually said that impacted him so much that as he went through college, he actually wanted to become a Kappa man and different things of that nature. Now, as you mentioned, for me, when I went to Central State University and I began to look at fraternities and different things of that nature, like you said, up north, it's not, you don't really see a lot of involvement. You really don't see them come and be involved in the Youngstown community. So when I went away, I kind of just learned on my own. But I kind of want to ask you this: right now, with the pandemic and everything going on, how is it impacting how you actually do instruction, and how are you able to you know mold individuals like black and brown kids, especially these high school students here?
Well, my the way I do, I let them know that first of all, I'm gonna be stern on you. I'm not your friend.
Exactly.
Okay. I can be a father. I can be a brother. I can be all those great aspects to you. But if I can't tell you something that is positive, then there's no reason for me to even be in your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great call out. Great call out. Um, what was the main difference in the culture in the different eras in a different era, excuse me, as it relates to teaching at Rand, teaching at the New East and the Old East? Like, was it? Is it is it pretty much the same, you know, or what's the generations different? You know, what's, as you recap, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, by me, when I was at East first, I was at East first, and then we went to Rand. The culture was still good. The kids, I think they were more motivated. They wanted to do something in life, but now kids just feel that things are going to be handed to them, and I try to explain to them things are not going to be handed. Anything that is handed to you, it's not worthwhile having. You have to work for what you want. Work for what you want, and then
Absolutely.
you can be successful.
Absolutely. Great call out. Great call out. I like how you said you will wear multiple hats, no matter if it's as it relates to being a brother. If you want that father figure role, you'll put that hat on, different things of that nature. And I know exactly what it meant to my family, especially outside the classroom, and how you were, you know, very hands on, especially with, you know, my cousin Damien there. Overall, um, you gotten him and having him go to college as a first generation person in our family, it meant a lot in my family, as it relates to me. Seeing that actually set a goal or expectation. When as you are, you know, involved in Damien's life at that point, what made you? How did you convince him to go to college or even see value in college?
Well, at first I told Damon, you got to be yourself.
Mhm.
You can't do what other people do. You got to start making some goals and choices that's going to benefit you, and not what's going to benefit in the world. You got to know what to benefit yourself, and how you can maintain. And there's a good, I say there's chances, but you got to take them, and if you fall down, you got to get back up and keep going on again.
Absolutely. Great call out. That's a great call out. And the reason why I said it's a great call out, because it reverts back to, um, well, most people probably don't know this, but my dad was murdered when I was in the sixth grade. And when my dad was murdered when I was in the sixth grade, my Uncle Jenkins was very involved in my cousin Damien's life. So those values, those norms, and those beliefs that my uncle taught Damien, it actually was passed down to me. And when I say passed down to me, as I matriculated through college, Damien was the individual one who was coaching and mentoring me. Like, hey, you want to try this, you want to try that, different things of that nature. So that's where that question actually came from. Um, how has technology impacted your instruction? Like, is the students doing well? You know, are they, you know, falling behind more as it relates to your classes, and then the other courses outside of, you know, your class as well?
Well, basically, I really don't have a discipline problem. The problem I have is being responsible. And, and once you got to teach them how to be responsible, once you teach them how to be responsible, some people think everything is easy, and that if it's not easy, they don't want to touch it. But
Right.
anything that is easy, you shouldn't even want that. Anything that you have to work hard for, you can be. It'll make you a better person.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a great call out there, especially those last settlements there, as you relates to, just challenging yourself by having stretch goals, and just putting yourself in unfamiliar situations. That way you can have that opportunity to grow. Man, with you being very stern, I know a lot of people used to be like, man, Uncle Jinx is mean, different things of that nature. However, I'm pretty sure that you added value later on in life, because I hear a lot of individuals, even like when I'm talking to people that we went to high school with, different things of that nature, they're like, man, like your uncle this and he was this and that, different things of that nature. But you can see them doing a lot of the things that you outlined in class. Um, Last question: as you continue to culture and inspire individuals, and mold them into, you know, men here, what has been your biggest success so far in your eyes?
Well, uh, I have gotten a lot of people in college, and a lot of people have different types of different. Just because I'm a teacher, you don't have to be just like me. You want to be yourself and make something out of yourself. But I have had a lot of young men that went on and made me very, just like I'm talking to you, that I used to be on them, and I I put my all into it. What I did was like a senior advisor. I was a coach. I was a teacher. So I tried to make. I mean, you can have fun, but in the meantime, you got to get the business too with the fun.
Absolutely, those life skills. Like you're definitely teaching life skills that's actually being ingrained. And when I say ingrained, meaning those seeds that you planted is definitely falling on fertile ground because you can see, and like I said, a lot of people that you mentor, coach, and those different hats that you wore, you can actually see that a direct impact that you actually have on the Youngstown community in general. Before we go, if someone wanted to reach out to you, besides coming to the school, which I know we can't right now because of the pandemic, how would someone want to reach out to you? Do you want to reach out to you on Facebook? I don't know if you got a Snapchat. I don't know if you got an IG. How you want people to reach out to you, huh?
I really don't be on that Facebook because I think Facebook is. I mean, I never dealt with Facebook and Snapchat, but they can get in touch with me. But if they want to talk to me about anything besides this, education, but about life, they can use my email that I gave to you, and and then we can sit down and talk on Zoom and discuss. I mean, you don't got to tell me your personal business, but I can try to guide you. Uh, Try to guide you the right way. You know, like my mother always told me, anybody always tell you something bad, you don't need to be with that person. You need to find another person. You need to find another person that's doing something so that you can set yourself as a good example. Because we don't have that many black males like it is like that now. Because I can give you, for example, at my school right now, I'm really the only black male teacher there.
Mm,
But when I first started, we had plenty of male teachers, but all of them retired
mm.
or they passed away, and I still try to keep on the legacy for our black brothers. I'm not prejudiced or nothing like that because it don't matter what color you is.
Right.
I'm willing to talk to anybody. I mean, and what we talk about is between me and you, because I had a when I went to college,
Hmm.
I had a advisor that would never let me settle for less. She always made me reach for the top. And what I mean for that, I always told her that maybe I don't want to do this, and she's like, "Well, you're gonna do this." And I really didn't understand it back then. And then when I graduated, I stayed in contact with her. And when she passed, I still could hear her in my mind,
Right.
the things that she taught me. And and I had a good foundation. I had a mother and a father that was educated, and that's what they believed in.
Hmm.
And I feel that if I can do, uh, it ain't all. It's not only about me. It's about who I can who I can help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you said she was a woman? Was she of color?
Yeah, she was black. Her name was Miss Humphrey.
Miss Humphrey. Okay. Miss Humphrey played a big part. Okay. Miss Humphreys. I have to appreciate her. All right. Before we go, any last thing you want to throw out there? Anything you want to say?
All I say is stay positive. Anybody who has something to say negative to you, you need to move away from that. You need to adjust yourself and find some positive people that want to do something. You know, we always have some people that are jealous of you, or somebody tell you that you can't do something, and as soon as you mess up, they want to laugh at you. But you need to find some good structure. You need to find somebody that who is for you, who needs to get that, give you that extra kick.
Absolutely.
That to make you want to do something for yourself, because guess what? Where there's something bad about you, there's always something good about you, okay?
I like
So
that.
you got to find it, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great call outs there. Way to wrap things up there. So I'll make sure I get that email address. That mug is super long. It was Jerron.Jenkins at Youngstown
K112.
K12 right dot OI
08
dot
US.
I gotta look. That thing is so long, man. I'm gonna make sure I pause. I'm gonna make sure I'll put it out there in the description there overall, man. But I appreciate your time. I'm gonna make it a habit.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
I didn't realize, sometimes you don't realize how people really, how you impact in somebody's life, into somebody's life until somebody tell you, because you know they don't tell you all the time.
Right.
But they, some come see me, some don't, but I know they in good hands, because they know what my demeanor was about. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how I always felt when I was around you, even though you were extra mean to me in front of my peers. Like man, you don't understand how many jokes I used to get, man, and they used to mock your voice as well. So when they used to do the voice and say Maurice, like they do your voice, so it used to be super funny, and everybody used to laugh and make fun, but everybody knew you were very, very serious, especially as it relates to health. That's something that we did not touch on, but I know you're doing amazing things in the community as it relates to health and different things of that nature. I certainly appreciate your time. Again, I'll put that.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead. Absolutely.
I remember when I first met Damon. I'm gonna just use him as an example. I first met Damon. And I know, you know, some people don't like to take challenges. They don't want to deal with it. But I just thought it was a mess, because I saw so much that he had potential in him that he wasn't using. And I thought that I was the person that could get that out of him. And to tell you the truth, I can remember when he told me, when he didn't pass his, they called it
proficiency test. I remember it was 5 of them.
He said he wasn't going back. And I told him, I said, well, you can't stay in my house. But because I said, you can't stay in my house. I said, because you didn't come this far and you want to quit. But at the end of the day, he didn't even really have to listen to me, but he did. And I'm proud of him, what he did to that. It was just a little disappointed that he just stopped, because he let people influence him on different things. He probably could have been a little bit better than what he is, because before he couldn't even play sports, and he loves sports. But I told him, you will never get to play sports if you don't have no education at the top.
Right.
So I moved him from that situation, which he was going to East High School, and I moved him to Liberty.
Yep.
And his whole demeanor changed. And once his whole demeanor changed, even though he still had people at his neck telling him that, you know, I'm being strict on him, but I made sure when I took on that responsibility, I made sure that I did the best that I could for him.
Right.
And made sure that, so if he didn't do it, it's not my fault, because it's he just was listening to other people at times.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great call out. That's a great call out there. If I could interject, I would just say that when he went to Liberty and him playing tight end and playing sports and different things of that nature, he ended up giving me his jersey. I don't remember it was his football jersey or basketball jersey. It was his basketball jersey from Liberty. And man, I misplaced it when I went to college, man. But the biggest thing is I never forget that he will actually give me those things that meant a lot to him. He will actually give it to me. So what you were doing for him and those actions, it was something that our family probably was not used to seeing, to be honest. And when you're not used to seeing that type of leadership, one from a black male, and then two from someone who actually doing something and genuinely care. You know, man, we wasn't used to seeing that type of love and affection. You know, that love language that people would say. We wasn't used to seeing that type of stuff. So I'm pretty sure, mind you, they were older than me. Everyone was older than me, but I could see certain things. And when I was around, and when my dad was alive, he used to take me to see certain things. So I knew how certain family members are and what they did and different things of that nature. And I think with him, that I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, I would say that leadership role or that male figure, you know, that kind of got lost somewhere in there, and he kind of just strayed off a little bit. But at the same time, I'm not sure exactly what he's involved in right now, but I know him and his lady have several different businesses going and different things of that nature. But like you said, you had higher expectations for him, because he could have easily been in went to a different college to play sports at a high level, different things of that nature, to actually have more opportunities. Not only that, those opportunities would have presented a different future for him. So, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. I like to highlight the fact that you took care of him, and the fact that when you took care of him, he actually cultivated me as well, and he really, like, literally took care of me. Like, even when we were standing, he was standing in Columbus, Ohio, you know, going to visit him during my breaks from Central. I'll go to Columbus, stay with him. And, he would say, hey, Manny, I need you to do this, this, and this. Make sure if you move off campus, because even when I was scared to move off campus, I ain't had no vehicle. You know, he was coaching me through those different things of that nature. And he was the one that played that important role in my life up until, I would probably say, like my senior, junior year. My junior, senior year, he played like those important pieces as it relates to mentorship or coaching, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of just drifting through college. People told me, go to school and get a good degree and different things of that nature, which I ended up graduating with a computer science degree. But from there, I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? So I had to go out and, like you said, I had to find a coach and a mentor and different things of that nature. And again, I think you may have been before your time. Again, a lot of the things that you teach, some people are not going to be receptive to it because of their values, their norms and belief on how they was, their upbringing. But I don't know. I mean, since you personal here, I would say this: at the time of my dad's passing in 1995, how was the culture at the high school, or just the teens at that time? How was it? How was it teaching them? How was that, just that time in 95? What was that like, if you could recall?
I think those kids wanted to be. See, Maurice, when I stayed into school. I stayed into school, but I made sure I took care of my kids at home. But right. I stayed and I did football, basketball, and track. I kept myself busy. Right. And if you don't keep yourself busy and want to do those type of things, then you find yourself wandering away too sometimes. But you got to keep yourself a little busy and stay in the game and do what you was put on earth, the purpose that you was put on earth for, because like I said, you're not gonna reach everybody, but if you reach one or two people, you didn't do. I mean, I used to thought I could reach everybody, but everybody don't want to be reached. So if they don't want to be reached, they can't say that I didn't try to give it to them.
Oh man, I promise you, I'll say this: transitioning myself from I didn't go to school to be a formal teacher, so I ended up falling into teaching computer science in Chicago at the University of Chicago Charter School. I'm teaching computer science to high school students, and my first year I struggled. And on the south side of Chicago, it's just a different breed of of kids, man. At high school, they're making grown decisions. And I think that's everywhere. But to me, it's just slightly different in Chicago because of how big the city is and how underfunded things are. But specifically, I will watch the black and brown kids, like you said, staying busy. I will stay after school, hold open gyms, work people out, making sure that I at least go to the gym so they can go to the weight room so they can at least leverage it. You know, different things of that nature. Even though I wasn't certified to do those things, I would make sure that I was there, at least giving them an avenue to go work out. You know, if you want to stay after school and do, you know, stepping, or if you want to learn how to code, and, you know, like you said, just wearing those multiple hats. And the reason why I mention it is because I thought I could save everyone. But however, man, it took almost like 1.5 to 2 years for me to disengage. And when I say disengage, Unc, is because I was carrying that type of energy home, and I wasn't able to cut it off or cut it loose because I was I don't want to say disciplining my kids, but I was talking to them in a manner of, man, I don't want y'all to do this, this, and this. And it was like, I had to understand that it was coming from what I seen in that high school, and the fact that they were just beginning like 3rd and 4th and 5th grade. So why would I even, you know, be having those type of conversations when it was too premature? But the exposure to different experiences at an early age there in Chicago, you have to have those conversations early. But the reason why I mention it is because I thought I could save everybody, man. It wasn't until my 3rd and my 4th year where I was really operating at a high level. I just got a text message from my guy Marquand. He like, hey, Mr. Thomas, I've been watching your videos over the years. You've been really inspiring me to do different things, and I appreciate you just pushing me and setting those expectations. Shout out to Marquand doing some exceptional things there. But yeah, outside of that, man, that was some great call outs. Yeah, I'm glad that you opened up there, man. I was wondering, you know, he was holding back a little bit. So I was wondering why he was holding back a little bit, but yeah, man, I was just vibing off the energy there in general. Always great energy, and good vibrations.
I can also say one thing I can say about your father. Your father knew that Damon was in good hands, and he never, if I said made a rule for Damon, he made Damon stick to that rule. So I mean, I really appreciate that, because a lot of people don't do that. You know, he stuck by him. He stayed on him, you know. He really did. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, even though, I mean, everybody have problems, one thing I can say, he backed me in anything that I needed to do if I was having a problem with him, which I really didn't have a problem after he got to know me and my rules and regulations, what I was allowed him to do. But your father backed me in anything that was necessary, because him and Damon was real close.
Super close. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, he was super close. Like I said, I remember Damien being at the house all the time, and he would just take care of me. And if anybody know, like, I was born and raised in the projects. My mom even still stay in the projects. And it's more so of, if you know anything about being around people and being in experiences as a parent, even now, your ceiling is the next generation floor. So you want to remember that anything that you do, whatever you do, even if you're telling your kids to do this, and do this or do that, they're going to learn through your actions. So for me, it was easy for me to pick up how my dad was moving and different things of that nature, who was involved in his life, and how he actually loved, like his love language. I always say that. He really gravitated towards Damien and took care of him. And not only that, after, you know, his, you know, that tragic incident and different things of that nature, different family members, like, people wasn't, I'm gonna be honest with you, people wasn't there, like how they said it was there, and different things of that nature. So I had to figure things out on my own, but Damien was always there 120%. And it sounds like, and I know for sure, it was a big part of you mentoring and coaching him and putting on that hat as being a father as well for him. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate you. Any man, you almost made me come to tears, and I had to catch myself. Like, I kept crying on camera, man.
Yeah, when my niece said, at first I didn't know who she was talking about. Then I said, she said Damon's cousin. And I said, oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I had to go through different avenues to reach you. I said, man, I got to get in contact with my uncle, man. It's been some time. And I'll probably have like several videos where I'm interviewing family members and different things of that nature. So, but this one right here, it means a lot. Like I said, you have impacted so many people and you're doing amazing things in the community overall. But overall, how you feeling overall? Like you giving off good energy, good vibrations. I see the smile, like, you looking good,
Yeah, I mean, it be times, but guess what? You can't feel sorry for yourself. You got to keep on moving on.
Absolutely.
That's the way I was taught. Like, if you feel sorry for yourself, it's not going to work,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll end the interview by saying, I think you should give your high achievers, give them all A's, and then give everybody else a B plus. If they're, if they're on that borderline, give them a B plus. I advocate for that. Help their GPA.
Yeah. But the problem with me, the good thing I have with myself, I'm going through the third at East High School. I'm going through the third and fourth generation, so I don't even have a problem with parents because they know what
Right.
I'm about.
Right.
So if a kid go back and say I did something to them or I said something out the way to them, they don't even take it. They don't take it serious. I mean, they take it seriously, but they don't get affected by it because they know that I'm trying to do the best for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you could say some things and then cut deep. I used to be in class like, oh no. Look, I'll never forget this. One time I was using profanity. And I remember you made us stop playing basketball, different things of that nature, and you pulled out the cordless phone. People don't know about this. This is probably about 98, 99. You pull out a cordless phone in the middle of the class and call my mom on speakerphone. You like, Colleen, Maurice up here cussing. You already know how my mom is. Put him on the phone. So on speakerphone, my mom like, so you use profanity. So my mom like, you up there cussing. I look at you, and I look at my classmates, and I couldn't lie. I was like, oh man. So I just didn't say anything. She said, man, so you can't hear me. So you know how my mom is. She said, oh, so she said, so you can't effing hear me. I said, no, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I hear you. So you up there cussing. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I'm gonna whoop that ass when you get home, right? Oh my God, the class erupted, boy. Everybody like, in the 10th grade. I'll never ever forget that. And that was the example that I needed. And it goes back to what you were saying as you were coaching Damien and mentoring him and about being yourself and different things of that nature. I was clearly out of character. I was clearly out of pocket. And you doing that actually straightened things out for me, man, because it was tough back then, man. You ain't mentioned that they closed down the school. They closed down East. And then when they closed down East, all the people, had to go to school over at Rand. And it was tough, man, for like the first month. It was always fights, East side versus North side, different things of that nature. And the same thing happened on the across side of town. You had the East side people going to Wilson and all that. I don't want to talk about that bad stuff or put that bad energy out there, but it was what it was. How has funding changed, since then? What made a new school be built and different things of that nature? What made them say, we're going to build a whole nother school?
I mean, we get the outsiders that don't know about Youngstown, and they come in here and they think they can. We need people. We need more people into our system that knows about the different sides of towns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can't go get somebody that come from New York or Chicago or Detroit. Right. They don't even know the half of what we used to do because we had some great times there and we had some bad times there, but right. At the end of the day, we still standing strong. Like I tell the kids, hey, you can do bad by yourself. If you want to do bad by yourself, you can continue to do bad by yourself.
Absolutely.
But I can't be a part of that.
Right. Right. Speaking of being a part, and I know you got to jump off here, but speaking of being a part of something, which sport do you get the most energy or the most pride out of coaching?
Well, I like the football, but track was a lot because we used to go to state every year, and
Right.
then, it was that. But they don't even do it. You remember when you was going to high school, we used to have big track teams. We don't
Right.
have nobody, but they don't have but 6 or 7 guys on track team now. Well,
Really?
we almost have everybody. If they didn't make the team, they cried about that, because they wanted to be a part. They
Right.
want to be. I mean,
That
they
was
want.
major. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was major. That was major. Man, we cooking now. I feel like we're cooking now. I can't even interview. We cooking now. So I know you always used to talk about God and having your purpose overall. How has your spirituality and your religion in general impacted who you are and the values and the norms that you establish in your household and into students as well?
Well, that's the way I was brought up. My parents were strict. I come from a strict family, and I was just blessed to be able to have a mother and a father at the same time, and they still living today.
Really?
And yes,
Oh wow.
still living today. And like I have like Lauren, she doing good for herself. She came and stayed with me and moved in with me, so she didn't have to go to Youngstown City schools. So she went to Liberty High School too.
Yeah, I remember.
So then her sister stayed here and graduated from Rand High School, but she has her master's degree now. So, and she works at Belmont Pine. She has a master's degree in psychology. So she went
Right.
to Ohio State. So I think I instilled that in her too about going to school too. So,
Yeah, I remember. I remember going to Old State. There was a couple people down there from Old State, and I remember just the exposure when they invited us and seeing a big campus, different things of that nature. Because a lot of stuff, we ain't have. Let me ask you this: I don't know. Do you guys have visits or funding where you guys can do college visits outside of Akron and Toledo and those? Because that's the only thing that I do. YSU, I didn't even know the other universities existed when I graduated. I don't know if it was because, and I'm not throwing my counselor underneath the bus, anything of that nature, but I just think the expectations were so low that it was more like, let's just get them over the finish line, which is graduating from high school. What are your thoughts there?
Well, my thing is this: I didn't even know nothing about black universities until I went down there where my cousins went, and she had 10 children, and all of them had either. I have a cousin in Atlanta, Georgia, right now teach calculus in over there in Stone Mountain.
Oh wow, that's around the corner from me. Yeah, that's around the corner from me. That's nice. So do you guys have funding, like
So
furthermore as doing college visits and different things of that nature?
no, that we don't have funding like we used to, but most of the time when you try to tell a kid about a black college, they don't really want to hear that because they haven't been exposed to that.
Yeah,
They
that's
want
that's
to go because just to tell you just to tell you the truth, Alabama A&M and let him visit there. And then we went to Atlanta and we visited some black colleges too.
yeah.
But he was so in love that he just couldn't branch away from that, even though he had an opportunity because once Damon started living with me, Damon attitude it changed a lot for the better. And everybody, he went to Liberty and everybody loved Damon. They had a nickname for him. I forgot the name what it was, but they loved Damon because Damon didn't say too much. He wasn't like he was. It looked like it was a different change from going to East to Liberty.
Right.
And people got mad at me because I took him out. But I thought it was necessary for me to take him out of that to get where I needed him to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you said, you saw something in him. You saw something in him that needed to be inspired, something that needs to be cultivated overall, within them. Same thing happened through me, like my entire life. I'm not saying I was a lone wolf, but most of my life, I didn't really I didn't really value my network and my people who were in my corner. I didn't know I had a mindset that I had a crab in the barrel mindset. I always felt like somebody was trying to play me or trying to get over on me and different things of that nature. So having that mindset, I missed out on a lot of opportunities early on. And not only that, I never burnt bridges with people, but I kind of just distanced myself. I kind of just like, I'm gonna do it myself. I never asked for help. And like you said earlier, you really gotta pay attention to the people who are, who has your best interests. So, man, great call outs, man. Great call outs. You're doing some amazing things there, man.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. You have to continue this. We have to get a part 2. Because I want to make sure we talk about finances, man, because I know it's something that you taught Damien and different things of that nature. I want to get a financial interview around, what made you say, hey, man, you're going to fund college, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and, how it looks. And, a lot of people, use that as a hurdle not to go to the next level as it pertains to any type of degree. At least in my household, I have been coaching, my students and my children to know that the expectation after college, because not everybody's college ready. They don't have that self-discipline or that self-awareness to get up. And most people really don't like school. But I've been teaching my boys that at the next level after high school, you have to go get a trade. After you get a trade, spend 18 months to 2 years of getting a trade. And then from there, then you can go to college. I don't mind paying for college, but I ain't about to send you straight to college while you're still trying to figure things out for 8 to 10 years. Like, no way.
Well, guess what? I had a problem with them before. Because, see, when Damon came to stay with me, I was working on my master's at Kent State. And they just couldn't understand that why I was still going to school. But like I said, I just seen my family because they had PhDs and master's degrees. I just said, I gotta be like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta be like that,
Absolutely. And that mentorship and that coaching and that expectation that you passed to Damien, like I said, Damien stepped in that role and he said, you know what, Manny, you got to go to school. So of course I went to Central State and got a BS in computer science. And then after that, I went on and got a master's degree in business. So I got an MBA. And then I was working on a doctoral degree in business. However, I put it on pause. I put it on hold, so I will be going back and finishing that DBA. But the expectation is there. Like you said, hey, look, I love that you're giving these examples, man, because like I said, you have done a tremendous job, not only in the Youngstown City schools and the communities, but actually with the upbringing of Damien. And to me, it's kind of like a touchy situation since we're recording. I don't want to put too much stuff out about family business because some things I want to keep in the house. But he really took care of me on so many levels, man. No matter if it was financial, no matter if I just need to talk to him about next steps and requiring like getting documents, like as simple as requesting like a social security card or a birth certificate or something of that nature, like, or getting my first apartment, all that kind of stuff. Like he really coached me through a lot of that stuff, man. So salute him and I salute you, for instilling those norms and those values and those beliefs in them as well. All right, man. I know you got to get back to things here, and
Yeah.
I have to jump on a call here at the top of the hour with one of my online students.
Well, guess what? I come down there a lot.
Oh man, stop playing. We ain't gonna be here.
I,
We ain't gonna be here. Stop playing.
I can't come now because of this, but I come to the battle of the bands and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
And I could come up. Me and Damon, every summer, Damon used to go down there with me. He knows about what Atlanta is about because
Oh
he
yeah.
been down here
Oh yeah.
because we got people. I got people down there all over.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I got two cousins staying. I got one cousin that teaches at Alabama State. He's a professor, and I had a couple principals and all that. And their kids they after that they just passed the generation down and they just went to college and did the same thing. You know.
Yeah, that's the norm. Absolutely. Like I look, I'm 120% sure my kids will go to college. What it looks like, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna go online, if they want to go in person or experience the whole college thing. But before they go, they have to go get a trade, man. I don't care if it's an electrician. I don't care if you're doing. I don't care if you go to barber school, whatever it may be. You have to go get a trade. Therefore, the way the trust is set up, when they hit certain milestones, they'll get certain rewards and different things of that nature. But I'm I already know, man. I'm starting something different for my family, and that's what I had set out to do. I work hard. I work extremely hard in order to change the norm for my family and the legacy as well. One thing my boys probably won't know is growing up in the project and having that mindset of always have to fend for yourself for different things of that nature. But finding a mentor, man. It sounds like you open to having more mentors and different, mentees and different things of that nature. So I will be putting that email address out there so people can reach out to you and leverage you and pick your brain and different things of that nature. Like you said, you don't mind wearing that brother hat or wearing that father hat, different things of that nature. You always there for people.
If I can help somebody, I'm willing to do it, man.
Absolutely. How do you know which relationships you need to cultivate and which relationships you need to not put that much time and energy into? How you differentiate between the two?
It depends on. Well, I first have to get to talk to the people to see what's on their mind, and where they going, where they want to go, and where they want to start, and how they want to finish it.
Absolutely. Okay. So that's an easy criteria. Based on the conversation, you can tell if someone's being authentic or someone's playing you just based on your wisdom here. I get it. And being around multiple personalities, I definitely understand. All right, man, love you. Stay safe, stay healthy,
You
and
too.
I'll be in contact because I know you'll be down here soon.
Yeah, I will.
All right, love you later.
I'll be down there this summer, hopefully after it's over with. Because I
Absolutely.
stayed about 2 or 3 weeks. So
Okay, absolutely. Let's do that. Let's. All right, later.
And you can get this way. You can get in touch with me if you want to get in touch with me.
Even better. Okay, great. All right.